2012, they released a movie called The Rise of the Guardians. It's kind of a silly plot. It's about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Sandman and Jack Frost all teaming up to fight the Boogeyman. And in that movie there's a throwaway joke about the first time that the Easter Bunny met Jack Frost. Blizzard of '77. Jack Frost made it snow on Easter. Easter Bunny was still angry about it. Well, it's not quite Easter yet, but it's close. It's Palm Sunday, and we had to cancel services today because of the snow. However, as my wife says, it's a little bit sacrilegious not to have any kind of worship service on Palm Sunday. So I want to talk for a few minutes about Palm Sunday. And we're in my office right now because it seemed silly to heat up the sanctuary just for me. Plus, right now, you don't know if I'm wearing a full suit or if I've got sweatpants on. And I'm not going to tell you. Now, I did prepare a full Palm Sunday sermon, but you're watching this on a computer screen. And I know that my attention for watching things on a computer screen is pretty short. So, if you want to read the entire sermon, it'll be on our website, but for the moment, I want to jump right to the main point. This is Palm Sunday. This is when we remember how Jesus rode into Jerusalem to the sound of a cheering crowd that didn't actually want the kind of king that Jesus came to be. This is the start of Holy Week, the week leading up to Easter. And I think this Holy Week is a time for self-reflection, a time to consider the kind of king that we want Jesus to be. I think most of the Christian life is spent looking out. As instead of looking in at ourselves, we're looking out at the God who loves us. We're looking out at ways that we can show other people that same kind of love. But in many ways, Holy Week is an exception to that rule. And next Sunday is Easter. Easter is a time to celebrate. We celebrate the fact that Jesus is alive. We celebrate his victory over sin and death. We celebrate our redemption. Our God is alive and we have nothing to fear because nothing can separate us from the love of God that is in Jesus Christ. Easter is a time for celebration. Holy Week is a time to remember the events leading up to Easter. It's a time for reflection, to consider the kind of king we are looking for in Jesus Christ. This Thursday we have a Maundy Thursday service where we remember the Last Supper. We remember how Jesus, the King of the universe, washed his disciples' feet. We remember how he gave us the command to love others the same way that he has loved us. And we remember how he was betrayed, condemned, and executed on a cross. We remember the sacrifice he made for us. So this is a time for introspection, a time to consider our lives, to take stock of how we have been living. Now, as I said, I don't think we should spend most of our Christian life that way. One of the faults of our human nature is that we tend to fall into extremes. Some people spend their entire lives in introspection, never get past that, and never really do anything else. Other people avoid introspection like the plague, terrified of what they would find if they ever took a hard look at their own lives. I don't think either extreme is healthy. Most of our Christian life is spent looking out at the glory of our God. But we also need these times which are set aside for self-reflection. Times set aside to consider how we have been living and what Christ is calling us to. So this week, do that. I know, it's spring break. You're watching this on vacation, or the kids are running around the house and you're just trying to keep up with them. Perhaps you have family coming on Easter Sunday. This is a busy time. It always is. It always will be. Life is busy. That's why we need these times that are set aside to take stock of our lives, to consider how we are living, to consider what kind of king we're looking for. Are we looking for a prince of this world? Are we looking for a king of false promises and distractions? Or are we looking for a king who came to solve our real problem? A king who came to undo the curse of sin and death. Christ rode into Jerusalem to a crowd who wasn't really interested in him as king. What kind of king are we looking for? This Holy Week, take time to consider your life. Take some time this week for self-reflection, to consider what kind of king Jesus is and how you can serve him.